gentlemen, it is just past 5:30. We have a meeting posted to 5:30, Wednesday, September the 25th, 2019. I now call the San Juan Economic Development Corporation meeting to order. Welcome. First item on the agenda is our invocation. Mr. Rodriguez.
Please stand and bow your heads for a prayer. Lord, we are meeting today to conduct matters of economic business development. Guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our affairs may reach a successful conclusion. Thank you for being our source of guidance today, Lord. Amen.
Followed by our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is our roll call. I'll begin with my right, come down the counter.
Art Rodriguez, EDC Director.
Board Member and Commissioner Marky Villegas.
Arturo Guajardo Jr.
Neto Guajardo, Board Member.
Thank you all. We'll move on to our public comments. Do we have anybody registered for public comments today? No public comments, so we'll move on. Our next item is our Executive Director's report, Mr. Arturo Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our report starts off with our last meeting, which was conducted on September the 3rd. It was the first reading of the budget for 2019-2020. We did not have the presentation on the 17th, and we're scheduled now for the final reading on the budget, or reading number 2. This report will also contain, as we proceed in there, the up-to-date tax revenue through the month of, actually through September, received in September. And we had I had a second meeting with the Redcoats, the city ambassadors, and we discussed the Denny's ribbon cutting. They did take part in the Denny's ribbon cutting ceremony on September the 9th. And so did the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and as arranged for September the 9th. I've held discussions with owners of property connected for investment on our properties of EDC, and have a commercial property that is being looked at real close by the business right now. And the second property that we have possession of for EDC is being also considered by an investor developer. And we'll have more information coming up. Hopefully, I thought that we would have that information today. Last night, the investor gave me a call and he said he's waiting for arrangements with his attorney on purchase of properties. So I should have that hopefully by the end of the week. And hopefully, definitely, I think before.
Is that the
October
old 83 property or the one by the expressway?
I've got both right now under consideration that they're looking at real close. One is out of state, out of California, that wants to relocate here and understands how much the property has been appraised for, and is very interested in the property. He's got.
I'm asking that because of the situation with the appraisal on the one at the expressway.
So that one is yet to be appraised.
Okay.
And I will always look for number one, the appraisal to come from them first, and then we'll look at our appraisals and see how it compares. But they will both be appraised again. The last appraisal reading was on January of this year, but it did not. The second property, the expressway property, does not include the entire track 1, track 2, plus the other track. So I will get that. I'm just kind of waiting to see what appraisal they're going to come up with first, and then we'll do ours again. There is another industrial opportunity as well, and that is being considered. It's out of the country, and again, they have an assessment taking place and they have hired their own engineering firms to be looking at it. They were waiting for a feasibility study. I have my hands on a feasibility study that was done this year that I think won't change until we get a census reading coming in anyway, but it'll be up to date, and I will share that with the board probably on the next meeting. Okay, but it's 132 pages long, so it's very detailed. There is a let's see, we hosted on September 9th. We actually hosted at the office a UIL convention or a meeting of at least, I think it was 18 UIL members, and they were happy that we shared our board meeting room, and they will be looking forward to that. There are other companies that have requested, other city merchants that have requested if they can use our meeting. Board's approval, I took that on my own, thinking that, hey, it's serving the public and merchants, and it just helps us even develop a little bit better communication and rapport with them. So the franchise that I had discussed with you is also very interested in land in the city, and I have some material that I'd like to discuss with the city attorney and with the board, and with the board's permission, it would best serve an executive session. We have a food industry that is also pending relocation, and they're actually going to be helping us with the PSJA entrepreneurship advisory and committee and the sponsorship. We're working real close with utilizing our consultant, Hollis Rutledge and staff, and they are working on an application for an EDA grant that would help the business and workforce in the community. So we're working that in conjunction with complete authorization with the PSJA superintendent. We have a ribbon cutting actually tomorrow, and at a location here in FAR, or San Juan actually, but
Not having to do with the food industry.
no, not yet.
We're
No.
tracking together.
There are two other, no.
Right.
There are two other things that are pending on that, but the food industry appears to be willing to work with the incubator and the mentoring and assisting on promoting and training workforce. So it's a good thing. I've been discussing economic development opportunities and P3 opportunities and funding business opportunities, and there will be some discussion that presented to you for consideration on funding possibilities, okay? And this is what will come back on the agenda, on funding possibilities that can be presented to the board and to the city for consideration. I did make communication with Texas National Bank regarding the revenue that was being discussed. President has indicated that he's working on it, still working on it, and this is the latest update as of this afternoon at about 1 o'clock. And his answer to it was that he would be looking to discuss things with the engineering company. Okay, those were the exact words, but I should be getting clarity on that, and that involved the 50,000 miscellaneous that was being discussed. And hopefully, I will get an answer again from the president, hopefully by October the 1st or the next meeting that we have scheduled.
What's his name?
The engineer? I have
The president?
No, it's
Who you
Mr.
dealing with?
Joe Quiroga.
Joe Quiroga.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Yep. And the letter actually that I have on file is between President Quiroga and the EDA representative, Jorge Ayala. So, yeah. And further information that the EDC board had requested was on BBVA USA banking account. I have some documents that I would like to share with you on that in executive session as well.
Okay. For the record, Commissioner Lenny Sanchez has joined the meeting. What else, Mr. Rodriguez? So you got working with approvals for PSJ superintendent. What is that about? That's still in reference to the incubator?
Yes. I know there's a new superintendent. I haven't met him. I hope to meet him perhaps tomorrow. I don't know if he'll be in attendance on that, but.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be at the top of his list right now.
Yeah.
He's gonna have his hands full, but still reaching out is a good thing.
Since we have a ribbon cutting of some sort tomorrow, I think I might have an opportunity. So. Yep. Yes. Yes, sir. And that's pretty much it.
That it? Any questions from the board, comments, concerns on Mr. Rodriguez's report? If not, we'll move on. We've got a few presentations. We've got under 7A, presentation regarding San Juan EDC finances by City of San Juan Finance Director, Mr. Leroy Gonzalez. Welcome, Mr. Gonzalez.
Good evening, Board. Before you have the budget report, the month of August 31st. The front page is our revenues, first page, and we're at up through August we're at 874,190. This does not include the month of September, the month of August and September, because they come in around the 15th of the month. So we're still lacking on this report. We're still lacking two more sales tax. The second page is our expenditures report. Our I guess if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer any.
With permission of the board, there is a good item to look at, and on the tax allocation history summary for September, it went up. The last one that was reported was at 95,125.48, and the one that came in September to report, correct me if I'm wrong here, Leroy, okay, is 101,559.72. So there is a rise in the amount of tax allocation that's coming in, tax revenue.
Page 206?
It's not reported on the budget yet.
Oh,
because this is through August 31st.
Gotcha.
And the one we came in, it was at September 15th.
Got it.
Just a note on the report that Mr. was talking about. This is a 30% increase from last year to this year.
Awesome.
It's the increase within the whole
Of
valley.
all the valley cities?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Good. Anything
So
else?
I guess if you have any questions.
Any questions from the board? None of this has changed. I mean, we dug into some of these numbers the last time, right? And we're good now with what we're looking at.
I'm good with it.
I think the last time you were discussing the budget,
Yep.
the actual expenditure for the year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So no action is required here. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, for that report. Then we'll move on to item 7B. We've got another presentation regarding request for mini grant by Marlena Bustamante on behalf of Mixed Fit Performance. Welcome, Ms. Bustamante.
Hi, thank you. So I'm Marlena Bustamante. I'm the owner of Mixed Fit Performance here in San Juan. Unfortunately, I wasn't here last time that Minister Rodriguez brought it up. I had work commitments, so I do appreciate you inviting me back and having me here today, so thank you. So before I kind of get into everything, I kind of want to give you guys an idea of my background. So I was pretty much a bear all my life. I went to Clover Elementary, San Juan Middle School, when it was San Juan Middle School, and PSJ High School. Something that was a big part of my life is sports. So after high school, I went to the University of Dallas, where I played 2 years of collegiate softball and 4 years of collegiate basketball. I graduated with my degree, and from there I went to Texas State University, where I received my master's in business administration. At the same time, I did get my certification for personal training. So upon graduation, immediately went into the fitness industry, got my feet wet, got experience, and came back to my roots. So we just hit our first year in March. We had our 1-year anniversary. There's some familiar faces that made it out, so I appreciate it. So we're going on year 2 now. And just like any industry, the fitness industry is continuously growing. There's always new ways to work out, new exercises, new equipment, new wearables. So as an owner, and more importantly as a fitness coach, it's important for me to kind of keep up with those trends, to continue to challenge my members and just help them be more effective in achieving their fitness goals. So that kind of brings me to my purpose today of applying for this grant that you also generously offer. So hopefully, if it is approved, those funds will go directly towards purchasing equipment that we need for our studio and in equipment that hasn't yet been introduced. So a little bit of both. If you look at page 3, I believe you guys might have a copy. It's kind of a general breakdown of where those potential funds would go. The first one there we have is dumbbells. My clients are getting stronger, so I do have to get those heavier weights for them. It's a good sign, right? And then we do have Velo resistance bands. It's just something to incorporate into our workout. So again, this is just a general breakdown. So it is would like to introduce as well. If you look further down, we do have marketing. So we did some of those funds to marketing. Again, we're going on our 2nd year, so I don't really feel like we fully have that presence here in San Juan. So I want to continue to bring that brand awareness and grow here in the community, kind of get our name out there. So we allocate some funds to that. Again, so we can try to reach people in the community as well as surrounding cities. And obviously that would help in the overall goal of, helping people with fitness goals. So one thing that I will point out is at the top where it says project, it does says improvement and outdoor fitness camp. So I do want to touch on that just a little bit. Last year, I did reach out to the mayor about one of my ideas, and he helped me tremendously, along with the city manager, of launching fitness in the park here in San Juan. So I did tell him one of the first things was, you don't have to put my name on it. I believe in being socially responsible, so I wanted to give back to the community. So with that, we did a free workout. It was every Wednesday for the month of October at the park, free of charge to the community residents. So that's something we did last year and something I'm hoping to launch again this year, especially with the holidays coming up. So maybe before, maybe after. That's something I'll kind of have to talk to them about. But basically my reasoning for bringing that up is because eventually we would like to have that be a branch of Mixed Fit Performance. And so that's why at the very bottom, the budget estimate is higher than the actual grant. And the only reason I put it there was so that you can see that the grant is going to help us tremendously. You can see the bottom right corner, it's over 1/4% of the overall budget for the project. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it is going to really help us, although that the budget is a little bit higher. So that's just something I wanted to touch on real quick. But overall, this grant is mainly going towards, the new equipment for my clients, and I think it's definitely important because it'll show that I do value them. I do want to challenge them and continue to support them in their fitness goals and by providing the tools and resources that they might need. So that concludes my presentation. At this moment, if it's okay, I'd just like to open it up if y'all have any questions for me or comments, concerns.
I do. So tell us a little bit about your business. Is this like a gym where people go and work out, or are you just teaching course classes? Or
great question. Yeah. So a small fitness studio. So our niche is basically it's small group classes. So they're HIIT performance classes. So high intensity training. It's where you do 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest, and kind of do circuit training. So it is 1 hour, and it's a mix of both strength and cardio. So it's a little bit of everything in 1 full hour. And then along with that, there's a couple other services of personal training and kids fitness.
So if
But
someone's interested in going to you, how do I tell them? She can teach you a class for an hour, or you can go join her class for the hour? Or is that
yeah,
how it works?
absolutely. So it's good for all fitness levels. So with every exercise, we always provide options, you know, in case people have knee injuries or they're just new to the fitness world. And we do have a website, of course, that you can fill out a contact form, and we'll touch base with you and kind of get you scheduled for a class.
Is there any money involved, like any kind of that they have to pay, like monthly fees or any kind of fees?
Yes, great question. So it is a monthly fee. It's a monthly membership, and it is auto renewal every month. It's no contract though. It's just one of those things where if you'd like to cancel, just let us know before.
And your
So
monthly
we're pretty,
fee is?
I'm sorry?
Your monthly fee is?
It ranges between $49 to $79 per month. It's going to depend how often you'd like to go. So the $79 being every day, Monday through Saturday. Some of y'all interested there? We'll talk after.
What's your,
Hey, you mean we all need to join?
where are you located? Are you
Oh, it's
getting
right by
more
our
and more-
building.
I'm sorry?
Are you getting more and more
Yes,
people joining?
it's definitely
You
been.
said it's been a year, right? So-
Right, so we're definitely going up. It's been a little slower than I would have expected, but that's kind of where we want to allocate some of those funds towards marketing and having more of a presence in the community. And we do try, we've been out in some events in San Juan when they do have the 5Ks, volunteer our time there, try to get the word out. So hopefully we
The
will.
facility is at that same building that the EDC building
Yep,
is, right?
small, so got to look for it a little bit.
Customers do you have at this time?
Right now we're at 45. 45.
And you're averaging per month?
Per month, probably around 3,500, but it's up and down just because, you know, people are up and down with their fitness. But yeah, I know, that's what I'm hoping for.
That's when it should,
That's what I'm here for.
should go up. Well, great presentation. Thank you very much for
Appreciate
the
it.
information. We wish you continued success and all the luck in the world.
Thank you for your time.
You
Appreciate
guys
it.
have any more questions for Ms. Bustamante?
No.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to go ahead and approve this mini grant. Is that the board? I'll entertain a motion. So that's a motion? You got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank
and
you
Good
so
luck to you.
much. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
I'll see you guys soon, right?
That's right. Especially him. And for the record, Israel Blackie Garza has joined us for the meeting. Thank you for being here, sir. Yes, he is joining Mixer. Next item on the agenda is under 8.1, discussion, consideration, and possible action on second reading fiscal year budget 2019-2020. Who's gonna read the budget? Leroy or Mr. Rodriguez? Or we-
We'll let
or
Mr.
we not?
Leroy, go ahead.
I can, if I may, the was done, I wouldn't say maybe a couple of meetings ago. Now, it's not necessary to do a second reading or final reading. It does have to come before the city commission though for final approval. So, you can just say that approve as presented at the last meeting, no changes has been done. So, that'll be maybe the recommendation on that.
Recommendation that nothing has changed from the first reading, so at this time, we go ahead and move forward. We've got a motion
Second.
and a second to move forward with this budget as submitted the first meeting. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Your meeting is what date, Mr. O'Hara?
Second and fourth.
Next item is
We
8.2,
have one that's
discussion,
last night.
consideration, possible action on approving mini grant for mixed fit performance. You done that? Next item is 8.3, discussion, possible action on selection of attorneys for the San Juan Economic Development Corporation. You guys want to,
You,
go ahead.
you have been prepared copies of all the attorneys that.
Correct, and they did do presentations for us, what was it, about a month ago?
Yes.
Are we prepared to take action on, yes, sir. Oh, we've got an attorney
I'm
here.
Rico, I'm one of the attorneys at the firm. If you guys have any questions, I'm here.
Can you
If not-
identify yourself?
Rico Garcia,
And you are with which law
an
firm?
attorney with O'Hanley, Demarath, and Castillo. I understand one of my colleagues provided a presentation previously. I have additional ones if you'd like copies again, although leave it to the president.
Thank you for being here with us. Anybody have any questions for Mr. Garcia?
When O'Hanlon presented, that would include lobbying services, correct?
Correct, yes.
I mean, it's the whole package.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we believe that it was a combination of services that we could provide, and we're more than happy to provide a variety of them. I personally used to be, I'm new to the firm. I'm from the Rio Grande Valley, but I've been state senator. And I used to be a lobbyist in my past life as well, so I can help y'all out. Yeah.
Getting that service.
Yes, yes.
Okay. If so, okay.
You guys want to go into executive sessions or want to discuss something and then vote when you come back out? Is that how
So
you
we
guys
go
prefer to do
in
it? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Then at this time, there will be no action until we confer an executive session with our legal counsel as well, and then we'll be back after that.
I'll be here.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda is item 8.4, discussion possible action of letter of intent for the creation of a public-private partnership to develop and implement new infrastructure economic development growth projects for City of San Juan and project development agreement. Mr. Rodriguez, what's that all about?
I have a package for you, and it is part of the executive session material as well, because I know that you may not have all had time to read it, and it would be good to have our attorney present as well, so give us an
That's an
opportunity.
executive session, and we'll come back and take action afterwards? Okay, very good.
Question, boss.
Yes, sir.
Who put this on the agenda, or how did it get up to the agenda?
Actually, there was a discussion that had been doing on P3s and other information on funding, and then toward the end of the before the agenda actually went out, it was Mr. Pedro Contreras and Mr. Markey. Yes.
Okay, we'll go into executive session on that and come back and take action as necessary. So we'll move on to item number 9A. Oh, this is a consent agenda. So we've got several sets of minutes, approval of minutes for April 16, 2019, minutes for May 7, 2019, minutes for May 9, 2019, minutes for July 17, 2019, and minutes for August the 12th of 2019. Have you all had an opportunity to review those minutes? If not, I think they're attached, and if whenever you guys are ready to move to approve, those minutes are submitted, and I will wait for you guys to make that motion.
Yeah.
No changes. Yeah, so move.
So I've got a motion to approve the
I
consent
second.
agenda submitted, and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 10, executive session agenda. So pursuant to section 551.087, Economic Development Corporation negotiations, and 551.071, consultation with attorney, deliberation, possible action regarding financial incentives to business prospects. We are now going into executive session. It is 6:01. So we are okay, it is 7:31 p.m. and we are now out of executive session, and I now reconvene this San Juan Economic Development Corporation meeting back to order. As discussed in executive session, we will be taking action on two items. The first one is 8.3, discussion possible action on selection of attorneys for the San Juan Economic Development Corporation.
I make a motion to appoint O'Halloran for $3,500 a month.
Got a motion
Second. Good.
and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is item 10.2 that we need to take action on. That was from the executive session pursuant to section 551.072, deliberation possible action regarding real property and consultation with attorney and discussion regarding bid opportunity on project 20 acres.
I'd like to make a bid I'd like to make a motion at this time to direct Mr. Rodriguez to submit a bid to PSJ as discussed in executive session, sir.
Okay, we've got a
Second.
motion.
Second.
And a second, directing Mr. Rodriguez to proceed with submitting a bid to PSJA. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Sure.
I got a motion and a
Second.
second to adjourn this meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.